Hey everyone, welcome to the Up Your Geek podcast number 8, where we're gonna just discuss whatever, I guess. Hopefully it goes good. And, so yeah, let's do the show. John.
Hey guys, Johnny, this for another Up Your Geek podcast.
And now our special guest star, Save Anime or Darius.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah. So, what we're going to discuss right now about the DC comic thing?
Yeah, there's some new stuff that's coming out through DC, the new 52 line. One that especially I've been interested in is the new Swamp Thing run they've been doing.
I usually don't read. I mean, if any of you, anyone else here that knows me or has seen the videos or reading through them, know that I don't really buy issues. I just read the graphic novel. So I'm not really caught up to speed with anything new.
Well, if you're into Swamp Thing, if any of you guys who are listening in, I'd pick up the new stuff that's coming out right now because it's done by one of the original creators of Swamp Thing, the guy who's doing the story for this run right now. He's basically, yeah. Let me get the issues real quick. Yes, done by Lean Wayne.
Yeah. Didn't he yeah, I know he contacted Alan Moore to write Swamp Thing when they were going to reboot it. It was in the movie Secret Origin, the story of DC Comics. They were talking about that. And if he's writing it again and you're saying it's good, then it can possibly be good. But I have not read Swamp Thing. I mainly just read what I'm interested in more. Sometimes I will pick up something that I've never read that will catch my interest. Which Swamp Thing I was going to buy last month, but I don't know what I bought. I think it was the second volume of Saga, because I was reading the first volume, and it's a pretty good story, Saga.
Well, as far as the new 52 run, one second.
Alright.
Sorry about that, my father was trying to talk to me about something Star Wars related, but as I was trying to say, as far as what Alan Moore did back in the 80s with Swamp Thing was pretty good, but when Scott Snyder got into it, they took it a step up from what Alan Moore did back in the 80s. Because what they did back in the 80s, when Swamp Thing was, being revived and such, Swamp Thing was originally a human named Alec Holland. But in the 80s, when they were trying to revive the whole series, instead, Alan Moore did a little twist where Alec Holland never really turned into the Swamp Thing. It was the swamp turned into Alec Holland. Basically, Alec Holland died in that spot. He died in the swamp, and the swamp assumed his identity. And that's how it's been ever since, at least before Blackest Night.
Yeah, that's what I read. That's the only thing they've changed about it. About a monster who thinks it's a man.
And when DC started, using all these characters that were from the Vertigo line, basically they revived Alec Holland to become the new Swamp Thing. And when Scott Snyder introduced Swamp Thing into the new 52, basically they referenced Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, but in a different type of way. It's an interesting series. I'd look it up, it's a short 50 or 60 issue run. It's not a long run because, let's be honest, long running comics, they get pretty boring really fast, and except for a certain few. But short run comics usually have the best stories, in my opinion. Those who have a short run.
Yeah, I might, if I do read some Swamp Thing, I might read the Alan Moore run first.
Well, if I were you, I would start reading up from the if you want to read Swamp Thing, I would, if you want to start reading it, I would just read the Scott Snyder run, because, to be honest with you, there's a lot of things you would have to read before reading Alan Moore's run. And some of those books you would have to read before Alan Moore's run are not even in print yet. I mean, they're not even trade paperback yet, because what Alan Moore did when he got into Saga of the Swamp Thing was that he was basically picking off over where several writers left off because, you know, even though Swamp Thing was being revived in the 80s through Saga of the Swamp Thing, the comic book was falling pretty hard and fast, and Alan Moore just picked up the pieces and then he did his own take.
So it's one of those stories.
It's where, you know, it was good at first, but then it started falling pretty hard and fast, and then they had to find a way to catch up and become part of. What I'm trying to say is, you know, it was doing good because of the Swamp Thing movie that Wes Craven did, but then as soon as, you know, that popularity started dying down, you know, so did the comic book sales. So the comic book sales they fell pretty hard and pretty fast. So they had to find a way to change things, you know, get things going better at a better pace and such. So they had Alan Moore, and he did a different completely take, which is what I mentioned earlier. You know, instead of, you know, Alan Moore becoming the Swamp Thing, the Swamp became Alec Holland.
Yeah. This is relatively new, and I'm not sure if any of you have seen the entire season, but has anyone seen Daredevil season 2 yet?
Oh, I've seen it. It's pretty good.
I'm barely on episode, I think, 5, when Electro's going to appear.
I'm not going to be honest with you, though. I don't mean to spoil anything, but the ending for season 2 isn't as great as the season ending for 1. It's kind of weak. I mean, the series itself, the season itself is pretty good, but the season finale is pretty weak, though.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. I'm barely on the episode where Electro's going to appear. I was actually watching it today, barely. The
one thing I was disappointed was that, you know, Frank Castle went to prison a little bit too early in this. I don't think he should have gone to prison or gone through trial yet, you know, because, you know, I mean, I'm not sure what exactly happened in the comics, but I just think, you know, him going to prison too fast and then him being released by the Kingpin, you know, I didn't really care for that too much.
Yeah. That was a little bit of spoilers, I guess. And continuing on with the prison, yeah, I just saw that. I was on episode 4. And speaking about the episodes, they're a little bit shorter from what I noticed from season 1. Well,
I mean, they're still the same. They're still running the same amount of time. It's between the range of 45 to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. It's the normal standard time for a Netflix show. An episode.
Yeah, I don't really mind
episode.
I don't mind it, and I don't really notice it that much until I see the runtime, because I'm just so into the show. Like, whenever there's like the fighting or the shooting, any scene like that, I'm like so into it, like the whole episode, especially the ending to the episode 3, I think it was.
Well, I tell you this though, Marvel's doing something a little bit different with the Netflix. I don't know if they're going to connect their movies with the Netflix universe or whatever they're trying to do with Netflix,
they're
but
keeping it separate.
What?
They're keeping it separate.
Well, I don't know if they're making it separate, because Jessica Jones, they reference, you know, the whole alien invasion that happened in Avengers in Jessica Jones.
Yeah, and also in Daredevil season 2, the first episode, spoiler, I guess, they reference the Hero Act. You know, Civil War?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and also in season 1, they had the Easter eggs for the first Avengers movie, The Attack on New York, and the Hulk one, too, like from 2008, they had the reference to that. And I think they also referenced that was Ant-Man, when they referenced the city falling from the sky, that was in the Ant-Man film. But I think they are connected, but it's just that I assume the TV shows on Netflix kind of seem like they're on their own universe, but they're really not, I think. So, like with DC, the TV shows, they're separate. Most of them, like, you know, Supergirl is not with the Arrowverse. Only Flash and Arrow and the Legends of Tomorrow, of course, are in the same universe. And the cinematic universe is separate from any TV show.
Right.
Yeah. What a show. I heard Luke Cage is going to come into the show.
Yeah, I think it's already aired on Netflix, I think. I don't have Netflix. I watch everything on Putlocker or some other website.
Hello.
Because I have internet, so I don't think I should, you know, like, pay for an actual premium service.
Hey, Simi's back.
Oh, Simi.
I'm back.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Simi's in this call too. We were just busy in the beginning, so that's why. So, yeah, I don't really have Netflix either.
Wait, what were you guys talking about?
First we were discussing Swamp Thing and DC Comics, and then we were talking about Daredevil, and then we're talking about the Netflix thing.
I'm not gonna lie, Daredevil Season 2 was way better than Season 1, and it's on par with being as good as The Flash, but it's definitely better than Arrow, but again, it doesn't take much to be better than that show. I mean,
Yeah, so far it's pretty good.
I mean, I don't hate Arrow, but I'm gonna not lie, it's mediocre at best now.
I don't call it Arrow, I just call it Green Batman, basically.
I think everyone calls it that. I haven't even seen Arrow.
I mean,
It's not Green Arrow, it's Green Batman.
I could kind of understand why he's like Batman, because that's kind of how he was written to be, sort of, I guess. I'm not too sure of his history, but
yeah, like with the Arrow Cave.
One thing I kind of find stupid and confusing is that they'll reference Batman in Legends of Tomorrow, but other than that, there's really no other reference to Batman in the other CW shows.
Yeah, they reference Superman too.
yeah, in Supergirl they referenced the Batman. I mean, they're like, I thought masks were only.
I don't watch Supergirl.
I haven't watched any of the shows in like December. I only keep up with Flash.
I only know about that because I saw a picture of it. I don't watch Supergirl at all. I literally haven't watched it. I've only seen the first episode. Literally. I can't get into it. Supergirl's never been a good character, honestly. Why do you think her solo comic didn't last that long? They canceled it a while back. She doesn't stand well on her own. She's only popular because of her cousin. But, yeah.
One thing I see interesting about the new Supergirl show is all the fucking appearances the other heroes make, like Martian Manhunter and such.
He looks pretty cool. I mean,
yeah,
like, for a character on a TV show with a television budget, I mean, they did the best with him as they could.
That is true.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, he looks better than he did on Smallville.
Oh, he only appeared in Smallville like just a quick glimpse. It wasn't the
I just didn't like
the JSA episode.
Yeah, the portrayal of him overall kind of sucked, though. I mean, Smallville was great in the beginning, but the later seasons, it just freaking sucked, and I quit watching it.
For me, when it comes to superhero shows, I don't like watching superhero shows that use a lot of that have to use CGI a lot, because then it kind of looks cheesy and it looks, horrible. Which is why I like shows like Daredevil and such, because they don't really have to rely on CGI.
Yeah,
There's none practically. I like that about that.
I mean, they still have to use computer effects for like explosions and for other things, like for blood effects and such, but you can hardly tell because they look realistic. I mean, when you have like characters like fucking Gorilla Grodd and all, and Shark or whatever that character's name is with the shark and stuff, but yeah, it just looks all ridiculous.
It's hard to do it on a TV budget, because these TV shows, they don't get a really big ass budget. They're only given a budget for a whole season, not an entire episode. To make
I understand that, but at least they have to make it look somewhat realistic instead of like goofy looking.
Which is what I think King Shark, that's his name, looked better than Gorilla Grodd. One of my friends did say that Grodd looked kind of goofy, and I told him King Shark looked better, and he did say, it is an improvement over Gorilla Grodd. But I do get what you're coming from, dude. Like
they stepped it up with Shark.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too: the Netflix shows have much bigger budgets than the shows on like CW or on a broadcast network. They have much bigger budgets when it comes to that.
Netflix is beginning to become a very great domain for television shows.
Look, like House of Cards, that whole production of the show is at least over $100 million for just the show itself.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no network head to tell you how gory or how brutal you can make the show. You can do whatever you want. I mean, look at Daredevil. You could literally see the camera traveling through the hole where the bullet went through.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with Daredevil, though. It gets a TV MA rated, but yet Gotham could get something like TV 14, and you see the exact same type of gore and shit in both shows. Sometimes Gotham could be a little bit more brutal than on Daredevil.
The only thing I didn't like about season 2 was, they led up the final episode to being this big ass battle, but ultimately it was just Nobu and like 10 ninjas versus Elektra and Daredevil. I expected something way bigger than that.
And my one problem with season 2, other than the season finale, was that I think it was kind of I didn't like the fact that Punisher is going so quickly into prison at the start of his career.
I will say the pacing was better than Jessica Jones, though.
Jessica Jones kind of just sucked overall, if you ask me. I just think that, I'm not saying Kristen Ritter is a bad actress, but the way Jessica Jones as a character is written, she's not a good character overall. She's kind of just selfish, and I can't see her functioning on a team with Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. She'll just be...
The only thing that drew me to Jessica Jones is that it had a lot of actors from Breaking Bad on that show.
Yeah. The only thing I liked about it, and I'm sure you probably would agree with me, is David Tennant was a great villain.
David Tennant? Oh, speaking of the Netflix shows, there's one that's going to come soon, I don't know when. The Iron Fist one?
That's coming after Luke Cage, but there's no real date yet, but it more than likely...
Can we discuss how people got mad over the casting choice for Iron Fist?
Yeah. Honestly, the people who bitched about that have never picked up a comic in their life, and if they
honestly, I don't care much about Iron Fist to even care about the complaints at all. Iron Fist to me is just a secondary character, not really a big character in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Iron Fist, but even I was like, are you guys serious? They wanted an Asian character for Iron Fist.
Plus, from what I've read and seen, Iron Fist is a blonde white guy. Just your basic beach blonde dude.
Yeah, and just because, he can Iron Fist, Karachi Asia, that's why they think it should be an Asian guy. I think I made a little rant on Facebook in the comment section, but I didn't go too much into it because I don't really mind the casting choices. I'm just like, alright, I'll wait and see. Similar to Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl. Okay, I'll just wait and see how he is. And, from what I've seen on Supergirl, I just do not like the character of Jimmy Olsen that much.
I think Jimmy Olsen is supposed to be this nerdy white ginger he's really clumsy and he's Superman's best friend.
I don't really mind his color, just nerdy, nerdy, clumsy guy. Because there's two male friends for Supergirl. There's the guy that likes her, I'm not sure what his name is, I forgot. In the beginning, the guy that likes Supergirl, and then there's Jimmy Olsen. The guy that likes Supergirl acts more like Jimmy Olsen than Jimmy Olsen.
I just really don't I have so many issues with Supergirl, I'm not gonna get into it.
And plus, it's kind of hard to watch Supergirl without expecting... it's kind of hard to watch Supergirl without Superman, because that's all Supergirl is. It's just, she's just basically a character that's basically based around Superman's shadow, basically.
Yeah, she lived in his shadow, that's why, I expect to actually see him. Why not just get Tom Welling?
Why not just make a Superman show?
Yeah,
instead of Supergirl, make a Superman show, for crying out loud.
It could be awesome more than Smallville, because nowadays, they're not gonna make it how it was back then with in high school, no powers. Powers.
The fucking not the origin starting off in high school thing has been done to death. You gotta start somewhere again. You can't just I started off young in high school or young in school.
Yes, I think Spider-Man does it, Superman's done it, a lot of heroes have.
He even tried fucking doing it in Dragon Ball Evolution.
That was stupid.
Oh my god.
That alone pissed me off. That's not even... Goku was... I don't even know how old he was when he first started exploring his future or whatever.
According to the English dub, or at least I think the filler portion of the English sub, it said he started off his adventures when he was like 5 or 10 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched it, and I never really watched it in full.
He never really went to school, basically. He never cared about being popular. He just cared about, like, fighting and being the best and all that. Not like in Evolution, right? Like, where he's in school, he is trying to get Chi-Chi. I don't know why, I just have a problem with saying
First of all, in the whole Dragon Ball franchise, and I mean, this is talking about, both the anime and the manga, Goku never really had a romantic relationship or thing for Chi-Chi. The only reason why he got into a relationship with Chi-Chi is because he promised to marry her. And honored that promise.
I never got to finish Dragon Ball, the original one.
In all honesty, I don't like anime that much. It just seems like it's all filler and just cheap story and deviating from the source material.
Those are fighting words.
And I bet they are. But not,
I mean, there are good animes out there that don't really consist of filler.
There are, I'm not gonna lie, it seems like there's more that are
I'm saying just because of animes like fucking One Piece and Naruto, that's the reason why most people don't like watching anime or manga, because of shows like that constantly produce fucking filler.
Yeah, I mean, that they oversaturate things. I mean, because I love anime like Code Geass, dare I say it, Attack on Titan, because it is a decent story there. Though it is technically a mainstream one.
So it's Dragon Ball Z. I finished Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT, but I never finished Dragon Ball.
If you ever want to watch a good version of Dragon Ball Z, watch Kai, because that basically removes the majority of all the filler. From Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I noticed Kai did do that. I could tell.
And they actually did finish off the Buu arc, but mainly for Japan only, though.
Is Dragon Ball Z Kai available in Spanish?
I think it should be, but I'd watch the English version because I think that is the definitive best dub for Dragon Ball Kai at best.
I prefer the Spanish dub. Only 2 shows that I prefer Spanish dub are Dragon Ball, any of them, and South Park.
There's a Spanish dub of South Park? I thought it was only in English.
No, there's Russian South Park and all that.
Well, no, an interesting story about the Spanish dub of Dragon Ball Z.
What?
At the time, during the time when Funimation was taking over the dub, when they couldn't use Ocean Studios from Canada to produce more episodes, at the time when Dragon Ball Z first came to America, they were co-producing the dub with Saban, having a Canadian studio dubbing the show. And when Funimation went in-house with local actors and such, the actors had to use the Spanish dub for reference most of the time instead of the actual Japanese dub. That's the only way they can watch the show in its entirety while they were dubbing the show was through the Spanish dub, because they didn't have a lot of the Japanese dub tapes or English sub tapes either.
Peter Capaldi confirms a new Doctor Who companion. Thank God, because I fucking hate Clara Oswald.
I'm not a fan of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
I'm slowly starting to hate it, because the writing has gone downhill since almost right when Matt Smith was about to end his run. They just started getting shittier and shittier. I mean, I haven't watched it since Capaldi's first season. I'm kind of behind. And then they took it off Netflix, so I honestly really wouldn't care if it came back on. That's what I hate about Netflix. They take off all the good shit, but keep on some bad stuff. That shouldn't be. I'm just waiting.
That's the reason why I don't pay for Netflix, is because, number one, the multiple of good things they have doesn't equal the $80 to $100 or more a year for just a year's worth of subscription, just for a few shows.
I'm doctored in or whatever, so I paid the $7 the original fee, but I mean, like I said, Netflix, honestly, there are some times where I just kind of hate it just because there's not enough on for me to watch.
And it is
one of the reasons why I like getting Netflix is because they had a really fucking enormous amount of anime. They had everything from from Fairy Tail to Street Fighter V to a lot of animes that I've never even seen, and throughout the years they've just stopped renting or getting the rights to certain animes, and just their anime sections become crappy, which is one of the reasons why I got Netflix.
Yeah.
My problem with Netflix, either I've got it on Blu-ray or DVD, or I'm not interested in it.
Well, I mean, the only thing from Netflix that I like right now, in terms of anime, is the 7 Deadly Sins, but that's about it.
I have been wanting to watch House of Cards. What's that like?
It's great.
Oh, that's a fucking great show.
There's also a UK version, but I mean, honestly, it's kind of dry compared to the US version. The US one's...
Well, yeah, the story that are the books that they're based on, and they're very old books. In fact, if anything, if I recall correctly, the story's based in Russia or something like that. I don't know. Be honest, I haven't read the books.
I just know it's based in Britain. That's about it. I've never read them myself, but I want to. But yeah, House of Cards, it's god tier quality show telling it. It's up there with The West Wing. If any of you have seen that show, I don't know if you have. It's a good.
I've seen episodes of it, and I know how big it is, But yeah, in fact, one of my favorite parts of the show is when Kevin Spacey's character breaks the fourth wall and talks to the audience.
Those are the best scenes because he has some of the best monologues. Kevin Spacey is just a god actor. He's just great.
It's just I didn't like what's been going on with this new season because the guy who went to prison because Kevin Spacey's character killed his girlfriend. That's the reporter that went to jail.
Yeah,
who was trying to find information on Frank Underwood. I kind of didn't like how his story ended, where he got into witness protection and then he went insane and shot the president and then ended up getting killed himself.
This season was kind of mediocre. I mean, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it either. It could have been a lot better than what it was.
I'll say though, when it comes to shows, Gotham is kind of going on the downside.
Well, have you seen what they did to Mr. Freeze? That alone should be enough to turn you off.
I mean, the only saving grace for Gotham, in my opinion, is the Penguin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, him and the Riddler are good, but that's not enough to keep me in it. I mean, I have the hardest time.
Well, for me, it was because, to be honest, Penguin's my favorite character in that entire show. Everyone else can go fuck off and die for all I care. Yeah, kill Bruce Wayne. I don't care. We'll make Penguin Batman.
Honestly, if you want, in all honesty, if I want a good show about police in Gotham, I would just read the Gotham Central books. Those are really good. I recommend, because Ed Brubaker.
You know what good cop characters would actually make a good show? Comic book cop characters that would make a fucking good show?
Who?
Twitch and Sam.
Oh yeah. I think that's...
Reminded me.
The question
and I'm not talking about those cartoon characters. I'm talking the detectives from Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it reminded me of Sam and Max.
It's ironic that Twitch's real name is Maximilian.
It is kind of funny. Well, it is actually. I'm not gonna say kind of.
Just saying it's ironic that Twitch's real name is Max.
Has anyone...
I can't wait for tomorrow, man. I'm dying here.
Why? What do you mean? Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed for this week because, even though I'm going to get my bit from Better Call Saul and maybe something from Gotham, there's no new episode of Star Wars Rebels playing this week.
I'm so behind on that. I need to catch up.
Let's just say that the next episode's going to be the season finale, and it's going to be the best episode of series so far.
I liked season 1, but season 2's been panning out to be better. It's just, I always liked the
Well,
second.
let's just say that in the mid-season 2 trailer, they revealed that Darth Maul's still alive and that Ezra picks up the tri-saber, like the three-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, like Kylo Ren's. It was
one of the Knights of Ren.
I wonder how that plays out. Yeah, that if anything.
But yeah, this season finale is really going to connect Rebels to fucking The Force Awakens.
Yeah, because so much of that movie is... I liked Force Awakens, but I'm not going to lie to you when I say that. I feel like it could have been better.
And here's the thing, a lot of people think Snoke is Darth Plagueis. Yes, that could be possible, but at the same time, no.
There's just so many ways to debunk that theory. It wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I do think that Rey is somehow connected to the Skywalker bloodline.
Oh, she
is a part of the Skywalker line, but not in the way we think.
Yeah, she's not a direct relative of them, but she is a Skywalker. Because she's showing all the traits of Skywalker.
She could be Leia's daughter. It's possible that she could be Leia's daughter, but not Han Solo's daughter, though.
Yeah, because technically Leia would be the Skywalker, obviously.
Yeah.
Heck, she could be even Luke's kid.
That's what I was thinking.
Are saying that Rey is the daughter of Ezra and Leia.
That's so stupid. How would that work?
I mean, if you've seen the first episode if you've seen any of the episodes in season 2, there's an episode where Leia makes an appearance. In the episode, Leia and Ezra have great fucking chemistry, better than fucking Han Solo.
I haven't seen that episode yet, but yeah, I know about it. I'm gonna go check it out later. But it's a good chance that she is a Skywalker because she's showing like the penchant for being a pilot and things like that, like her father and possible grandfather before her.
And it's referenced in the movie that Han Solo knew who she was. Because he doesn't call her Rey, he calls her Rhea. When he hands her the blaster.
Yeah. And then, look at how Luke looked at her. I mean, he looked at her like a father would look at his kid. And then the way Leia hugged her, that's how an aunt hugs her niece. That was a very close family-like hug. That wasn't a friendly kind of hug.
Some people think that Snoke is Ezra, which there's some pictures that kind of help prove that kind of somewhat help prove that theory to be true, and it would kind of make sense being that Snoke was really interested when he heard about Rey having force powers, and such. But these are just purely fucking speculations, though, to be honest.
I'm kind of on the fence about half these speculations, because in all honesty, I just want to wait. I'm going to wait till we actually get till episode 8, because by episode 8, there'll be more news, and, we'll actually be able to form more speculations, because we didn't see Snoke.
Did anyone see the production trailer for episode 8?
What?
You would see the production trailer where they show the bit from where Rey is meeting Luke, and then it says production on episode 8 has started.
Oh yeah, I saw that. And then there's talk that because I saw this video on Facebook. I can't remember where I saw it, but it said BVS something something and all these numbers and letters, and it was Star Wars Rogue One. So we may be getting a trailer for Rogue One before during Batman v Superman, but. That hasn't.
They're doing something interesting now with the comics, the Star Wars comics too. Marvel is apparently Marvel is making Earth part of its continuity.
I have kind of an issue with that.
Well, I mean, it's the whole story is based about a galaxy that takes place very far, far away. So it's possible there can be an Earth in the Star Wars universe.
Will it be like ours, though? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, because I don't want it to be like... that would take away the mysticism and like the real of Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Earth being that primitive could actually fit being that, if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know, and there's always jokes that the Guardians will cross over with Star Wars. I mean,
it's rumored that they're going to do something like that in the comics.
It would be interesting, and I just know that a lot of people would have a backlash about it.
Hold on, guys. I'll rejoin the call in a minute. I just got to quickly do something.
Alright.
Okie dokie.
So, speaking of the upcoming PBS movie, like, today I saw, I think it was last night, the images for the premiere in Mexico, and today I saw some videos. And recently I saw the Grace Randolph tweeted about it.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay. So it's just you and me, Simi.
There's a lot of positivity.
If Grace Randolph likes it, then oh man.
I mean, I know Grace. She does have some pretty high standards. So if a film is good to her, I mean, it does mean something. It does hold some credits.
Yes, and that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let me say that over. I mean, Grace doesn't always come off as a nice person or a good person, or I mean, a lot of people have different thoughts about her. Obviously, I mean, I'm not going to state my thoughts on her just because I mean, there's no point.
Yeah.
But she does, as a critic, I do respect her because she has some very high standards. I mean, are they always realistic? That's hard to say. I mean, because we all have a different definition of what good standards are. But
yeah,
if you know if a film is good to her, there's some legitimacy to it. And there's a lot of, and again, I've noticed that there's, because I'm looking on Twitter right now, actually, there's a lot of positivity and like shout-outs for Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. So she very well could kick ass. I mean, I heard she actually stills the show, like John Bernthal stills this show from
Daredevil.
Yeah.
To be honest with you guys, I don't really care much for Batman v Superman. You know, to be honest, I don't expect much from that.
We're talking about how many people were giving it a positive review, especially Grace Randolph. I'm not sure if you know about her. Oh yeah,
indirectly, you don't.
Directly, yeah. But anyway, yeah, continuing this here. Yeah, Grace, she said she liked it, and she has some high standards.
I mean, because, well, and I don't think that's a good thing to bring up, because I don't think it really has anything to do with this, so my bad. I was going to bring up her weird debate about Daredevil. I mean, not Daredevil, but Deadpool, and the rating thing. I mean, I'm not sure. I understand what she was trying to do with that, but I think her standards for what a Deadpool movie would be like are a little too high. She expected it to be kiddie-friendly because of the MCU, but that's not...
Well, Deadpool's never been kid-friendly ever since his conception. I mean, fuck, he was created by the creator of the Youngbloods.
Not to mention, I mean, he had the period, the kid-friendly character only in one version that I know of, which is the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
And here's another reason why Deadpool is nowhere near kid-friendly. He was created by the same guy who created fucking Chapel.
He's a mercenary. I mean, that's enough to be sold that he shouldn't be kid-friendly anyways. He kills people. That's his job.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of characters that Rob Liefeld creates, they're nowhere near kid-friendly.
No, Liefeld's he has the most interesting mind. I mean, that's not an insult. He literally has a mind that's not PG.
His books are more adult-oriented. That's what I'm going to say about Rob Liefeld.
He has some great stories, but he's not too good on art. I'm going to be honest. I'm not real fond of his artwork.
To quote Linkara, Liefeld's not an artist.
I mean, like I said, he's great at writing, obviously. I mean, although he didn't do too good with Deathstroke and Hawkman over at DC, which is why those two series got canceled, because sales weren't too good with that book, and a lot of people didn't like him for it, so they canceled it. But, you know, he's not like Dan Slott, who's pretty much made Spider-Man an unreadable character.
I liked what he was doing with when he actually brought the little fantasy to life where Peter and MJ have a kid, but then ruined it.
I mean, that was fine, but I just he's taken Spider-Man and turned him into like this weird diet Elon Musk Bruce Wayne.
And the fact that Marvel's giving the okay for Peter and MJ to break up, and MJ hooking up with fucking Tony Stark.
Yeah, see, that stuff I don't accept. I mean, and you can understand why. And then they're bringing back Uncle Ben, who is literally the fundamental source for why Peter Parker is the way that he is. I can't believe I just almost called Spider-Man Tony Stark. But
Uncle Ben's death was basically the catalyst of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man and bringing him back. Kind of just it's like bringing back Batman's parents.
Yeah, it takes away the point of him fighting crime. Again, I'm not trying to bash anyone that likes Dan Slott's run, but I personally don't think that people understand Spider-Man if they agree with what Slott's doing right now. I mean, and then let's not forget he killed Doc Ock, and that's like one of my favorite Spider-Man villains.
I didn't like the fact that he made he put Doc Ock's mind in Peter Parker's body. I didn't actually like that at all, to be honest.
I didn't like Superior Spider-Man either. I mean, is it an interesting idea? Yeah, but overall,
it's an interesting idea, but it wasn't the right idea for the time, though. It would have probably been a better idea in the 90s when they fused Deadpool and Cable into one body, something like that. But other than that, it's not an idea. Now, the times of now.
No, I mean, I feel like Marvel is trying to push the PC stuff a little too much. They're going a little too hard for that diversity. I mean,
it's like fucking Clone. It's like the Clone Saga Nightfall.
Yeah.
Like they compete with whether they have to create a Clone Saga whatever it was called, to compete with fucking Nightfall.
Let's just say that in the 90s, Marvel was really god-awful. Let's just be honest here. That was when they were at their worst. The only characters that really didn't suck in the 90s were the X-Men characters, but anything outside of that was just impossible to enjoy.
Well, I meant the Punisher Warzone comics were pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Punisher comics, they were decent at least.
Oh, outside, like, the darker characters, but, like, the Avengers-related characters, they kind of got screwed big time creatively.
Well, the 90s was more for, like, the darker comic book characters, like Spawn and such. That was what the 90s were all about when it came to comic books.
Yeah, I mean, DC thrived in the 90s. I mean,
Image fucking thrived even a lot more than DC, I would say.
Yeah,
when it came to stuff.
Image has kind of gone down into obscurity, I want to say now. Even Dark Horse was in it.
They're actually doing pretty good, especially with Todd McFarlane's toy company.
They're good. Yeah, they're good. It's just, I mean, they're not as big as they were. I mean, they're not as talked about as DC and Marvel, but that's Image is not trying to compete. It's an independent comic book company. Yeah, it's an indie company. You could get your own comic published there if you really worked hard.
The thing that's really competing with other stuff that comes from Image is Walking Dead and Spawn and maybe Savage Dragon, maybe.
I'd say more Spawn and The Walking Dead. I don't know anything really about Savage Dragon, so I'm
one of the biggest one of the biggest comic book franchises that Image has, and one of the biggest opening comic books they had when they started Image.
I will say though that one of the best comics from Image is Peter Panzerfaust. I would love to see that get made into a movie.
What?
Peter Panzerfaust. It's like Peter Pan, except in World War II. And it's actually really cool.
I never heard of that.
I'm not sure how many issues it runs or if it's still running, because I've only read some earlier issues. I'm assuming it doesn't run anymore.
Yeah.
I want to say something. I've been caught up to the recent stuff with Spawn. I don't kind of like. I kind of liked what they were doing with Spawn Endgame, where Al Simmons blows his face off and kills himself, basically erasing himself from existence, and then having Jim take over as the new Spawn, and Jim having to fight over the symbiote, the costume, fighting control of the costume, and Violator having him join his army to fight Malbolger from Rising and all that stuff, But when they just basically just revived Al Simmons out of the blue, it just kind of, like, hey, what happened to Jim? What happened to all these characters you had set up?
It kind of just throws the consistency right out the window.
Yeah, when they just, killed off Jim and brought back Al, it just, wow, you had something so well set up and then you just revive Al Simmons just for nothing?
It more than likely was probably at the behest of fanboys that cried.
Yeah, because you want to know something. The funny thing about Jim is Jim Downing is that Jim Downing is a fallen angel who's wearing a symbiote, the Spawn symbiote, the costume symbiote.
I also like Dynamite. They have some good comics like Green Hornet, The Shadow, Lone Ranger. I mean, Kevin Smith is pretty much, as far as I know, he's working there mostly. I mean, because his Green Hornet runs like the best. I mean, if they were to ever consider the idea of doing a Green Hornet movie again, like a reboot, he needs to write it. Because clearly what they did with it last time messed up. I mean, the first misstep they made is they freaking thought it was a good idea to cast Seth Rogen as Britt Reed, and Britt Reed is not...
I liked the film. It wasn't that bad of a film, to be honest.
The story was really bad. I mean,
yeah, I know this. It was more or less. It wasn't trying to be serious. That's the thing about Green Hornet.
Yeah, he's not a serious character. It's just Rogen was way over the top about it, though, and I think that they also made a mistake in setting Green Hornet in modern times. He's not a character that would exist, honestly, in modern times. He's a he was conceived in, like, the 60s. You could even... Well, his older book... I
could see him like in the 70s and 80s, but maybe slightly in the 90s.
He could even be set in the 30s or 40s, like the first Green Hornet. I mean, because that way he could cross over with the Shadow, and the Shadow is like amazing. I would love to see that.
I don't even think they should even remake Green Hornet, because you can't replace fucking Bruce Lee with some other actor.
I won't lie though, the guy who they had play Kato, he was pretty decent.
Yeah, I know, but you can never replace fucking Bruce Lee as Kato.
Yeah, I mean,
you can that's another actor in Kato's shoes.
No, you can't find. I mean, because no matter what happens, Bruce Lee is Kato. I mean, I agree with you there. It was because of
Kato that he got all those big fucking box office films in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I mean, those films weren't really accepted over here, but in China, man, he was like their John Wayne. He was their trending actor. He was their big star.
He was the only star. There was no other person to Bruce Lee at the time.
Yeah, he was the definitive. He got screwed over later by Hollywood, and he kind of just vanished into obscurity and then died.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Bruce Lee.
Oh,
apparently there's RoboCop comics. I didn't know that. I feel like a douchebag now.
The thing I like about Dynamite is they have a lot of good crossover books, and their version of the RoboCop versus Terminator crossover was actually a lot better than what Frank Miller did for fucking Dark Horse.
Frank Miller's a decent writer, but his later work is I'm just gonna flat out say
what he did for RoboCop versus Terminator for Dark Horse was kind of
Yeah, it's like it's not good, but it's not great. It's just like you don't know what to say of it. I think.
the continuity of the Terminator side of the book doesn't even really follow what's going on with the actual movies. It follows a different set of continuity as far as the Terminator goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Terminator fan. I can
even reference John Connor.
Apparently, there's a Spider-Man Red Sonja crossover that they did. That's interesting. I might check that out later. I might buy that later, but we'll see if I can even remember.
Has anyone here read Valiant comics?
I've never read Valiant, but I heard they're a really good company.
Yeah, me too.
I've heard of the company before, but I've never read any of their comics.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, but looking at some of their characters, I'm not really impressed.
I'm really impressed with what IDW has been doing.
I never really liked IDW. It just seems like they publish, like, whatever they want. Like, they're typically used to publish, comics for, like, shows and stuff. You know, like, they're meant to sell toys. Nothing else. And TV
they're not really selling toys. They're just selling, ideas of, like, what-if ideas.
Yeah, I mean, they even have comics for the U.S. Army to recruit. They're just there to sell stuff. They're not a serious company. I hate to say it.
Well, they've had some pretty good books. Like they picked off. They're now doing the Max, which was an Image comic book, and where the book left off when Image did their run, kind of left off on a cliffhanger, and basically the guy started doing his stuff through IDW.
I don't know anything about Top Cow, though. I've heard of them, but I don't know any of their characters.
Me either.
I will say, though, IDW does do G.I. Joe.
Darkness is one of their characters, which was a character that appeared in a lot of Image comics.
The Darkness?
Yes.
Isn't that a game, too?
It was also originally a comic book before it was a game.
Oh, wow. Well, there are a lot of companies in the comic book industry. I mean,
I don't know why, but people recognize it more as a video game than a comic nowadays.
I guess. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't even know it was a comic. I thought it was a video game and nothing else. But I think it's because it was advertised a little more than the comic itself was, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. It's all about how you advertise it, I guess I could say.
I mean, not a lot of people even knew of the Crow comics until the movie came out with Brandon Lee.
Yeah, I didn't even know the Crow was a comic until a couple years ago, actually, like maybe 5. I need to read those, though, because they look interesting.
I think the first time I heard of the Crow was back in 2008, and then I heard it was a comic book the same time around. But I've never read the comics. I've only seen the movie. Only that one, because I know there's more, but I've only seen the one with Brandon Lee.
I only knew about the Crow because I was living in this hotel for a little bit, and like someone was talking about Bruce Lee and the whole supposed Lee family curse, because Brandon died so young and all that other shit.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I know about it. And then Bruce Lee, and then I started taking martial arts, and
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, so yeah, Bruce Lee. You know what's funny? When I was a little kid, I loved the Bruce Lee, and I even said, I want to meet him one day. So then my dad says, well, he's dead. I was like, oh.
That's a fuck.
And yeah, and then who else did I want to meet? I'm not sure who else I wanted to meet. And they said, oh yeah, well you know what? He's dead too. And I'm like, damn, everyone's dead.
Man, I'm enjoying reading these Batman v Superman reactions. Like Aisha Tyler from Archer reacting.
Who the fuck is Aisha Tyler?
Have you ever heard of the show Archer?
Yep.
She plays Lana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But needless to say, there's literally no negative reaction.
And I'm back.
Cool. Oh.
Wow, everyone's loving it. Oh my god. Oh.
Did you have an orgasm?
No, that's like, I'm just impressed by how there's almost no negative or mixed opinions on this movie. People are just loving it.
You know what I really liked in the premiere that I saw a video clip? Remember that little kid with the Superman suit?
I thought that was so cute.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you saw that little clip, Save Anime. Basically, at the premiere, there was this little kid dressed up as a Superman suit, and Henry Cavill, he shook his hand and signed his suit, his little costume, and then gave him a high five.
Just an overall positive character. He's the one that they typically use for outreach to little kids.
Yeah, even though in the premiere, everyone, they said, and Ben Affleck is Batman, and the whole crowd cheered more for him, I guess, because he's Batman now.
He was also speaking their language.
Yeah, I didn't even know he could speak Spanish. What the fuck?
Here's one thing I have to say about Ben Affleck as Batman. He tried doing Daredevil, which Daredevil essentially is the Marvel version of Batman, and he didn't do well, and for what I've seen from the trailers, it's just Daredevil. His Batman is just Daredevil with a voice modulation, and the only superhero I think Ben Affleck can actually play is Superman, to be honest, after seeing that movie Hollywoodland, which is based off of the actor who played Superman in the 50s that killed himself, supposedly or allegedly.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie, Hollywoodland?
Yeah. No one knows what happened to George Reeve. I mean, I wouldn't even provide my opinion on that because I really don't know what happened to him.
What happened? Well, I did hear that he was really depressed over playing Superman so much. Because he could not get any more acting jobs in Hollywood besides Superman. So that's what everyone saw him as.
Well, a lot of people are saying that Ben Affleck is the definitive Batman, that he's like Bruce Timm's Batman and the Arkham Batman put into one, and they had one very badass love child. And I think... And people are saying that Eisenberg and Godot are amazing, which I kind of want to believe, because a lot of people have hated on them. They're literally... I mean, the haters for Affleck have died down since the trailers, but the Eisenberg, and Godot haters, they're still strong, but when it all comes down to it, they're going to get shut down, hopefully. I personally don't care about Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, because I've never really thought Lex Luthor was my favorite villain. I'm more of a Batman, Wonder Woman guy, so I like their villains a little better and Flash. So I could care less about Superman's villains. Never really liked any of them except for the Parasite. But that's about it.
You know what? Because I did see Superman Returns, and I did not like it that much. And I had in my mind my own version of that movie, and I was gonna have Parasite as in one scene fighting Superman.
Hey, Lewis, I gotta go. Something's come up, and I'll probably be back if you guys are still on in about 10-20 minutes or so.
No.
Yeah, we're going for an hour and a half. We're only 55 minutes in, I think.
Because I gotta go to the store real quick to go pick some stuff up.
All right, now.
Got 10-20 minutes, maybe a little bit more.
All right.
Later.
Bye.
Wow.
So, it's just me and you, right?
Oh, John, I forgot Joe left,
No, John.
I meant, never mind. 2016, the year of Team Red, I noticed that, because we got Red Daredevil, Red Deadpool, Red Spider-Man. The year of redemption.
Oh, I get it.
Well, actually, these past few years have been redemption, because Brandon Roth is Adam, and he's been redeemed as the Atom after Superman. Ryan Reynolds has been redeemed as Green Lantern, as Deadpool after Green Lantern. Ben Affleck's been redeemed as Daredevil. Oh, Chris Evans got redeemed a long time ago, but...
Captain America, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously, if Lamar would go to a Wizard World and see Evans, and he would get Evans to say our catchphrase, I will fucking bow down to Lamar.
there's a couple people, like I said, that I would want to hear them say, "Ready, set, up your geek." And Evans, Affleck, and Cavill, and Godot, and Jeff Johns. To get any of them to say it, I would cry. I would cry.
Out of all the MCU actors, I want Chris Evans the most, because if any of you are hearing this, my favorite character in the MCU is actually Captain America, and hearing Evans just say that would blow my mind. Shit. So any more words on the BVS scores, ratings, whatever?
Well, I haven't heard any ratings because this is all fans.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I meant the fan reactions. So there's not been one negative reaction?
I haven't found any. I mean, dude, I've been looking to find some negative or mixed to show that I'm not being biased. I mean, the closest thing I can see to negative is someone saying their name is, I don't know who this is, their name is Smith Lord, and they're like, I'm hashtag BVS Premiere Blue with a blue heart, sad it's over, but so happy it happened, and soon we'll all be seeing ...
So a blue heart means that you're heartbroken or something?
I'm not sure what that implied, but yeah, that's the closest we're gonna get to someone being sad about BVS, and it has a positive connotation. So, I mean, I'm scrolling around to see if I can find something that infers a mixed or negative reaction, so people say, to prove to people I'm not biased. There's none. And then there's someone named Tracy who says, I would just like to say that the only time the entire audience cheered was for Wonder Woman. And damn, Gal Gadot is fire, and they did a little emote with fire, and Ben Affleck is the definite Batman.
Little emote.
November.
What do you mean November?
I don't know what they mean by next November.
Yeah, I think it's because Justice League comes out next November.
I just know film's in April. I'm not keeping track on that film yet.
I mean, Justice League, the movie, is set to release in November 2017.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, I know it was meant to come out next year. I just didn't know the date. I'm not focused on that right now. I'm obviously focused on the next big movie. Because by the time Suicide Squad's out, we'll have a little bit more word on Wonder Woman and then probably Justice League. But does Wonder Woman come out first, before that, or after?
Suicide Squad comes out on August 5th of this year. Wonder Woman comes out on June of next year.
Okay, wow, it's actually closer than Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still looking for more negative words, and I can't find any. I'm looking, dude. All I can say, though, right now, geeks, to anyone watching this, now that it's in the U.S., it's open season, spoilers are coming. I mean, they're already there. I've sadly had something spoiled for me, but I found out there's...
Please don't say anything. Please don't say anything in here.
No, I'm not going to say a spoiler. I'm just saying that there's more to it, so just stay off the internet, guys. Just stay off social media. Because someone's going to be a really cruel person and try to ruin the fun for you. Like they did me. I mean, I just can't get a break. I had it happen with Star Wars, too.
Oh, me too. Star Wars was spoiled. Do you know who spoiled Star Wars for me?
Who?
It was that...
Well, I mean, I honestly had... Like, because, you know, obviously, I had been that Star Wars. And, you know, some guy came in on a sock account. I didn't know he was a sock account. I'm the one who added him to the group. I didn't actually... Because it looked like he'd been on Facebook for a couple of years. Like, it said he's been with Facebook since, like, 2008, so I assumed, hey, this is no big deal. He just freaking spammed that picture. And then,
which one?
Oh,
Han dying?
Yeah, well, I still don't want to talk about it, because some people haven't seen it, so...
Really? Some people haven't seen...
Yes. Believe it or not, there are some people, but... Well, I don't know, but I'm just playing it safe. But yeah, and then Scarlett... You know, yeah, she had it spoiled, too, because she saw the same picture in the same comment section that I did.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, good thing for me, I have not seen any spoilers for BDS yet.
The closer it gets, the likelier you're probably gonna get it spoiled. Cause like I literally had Star Wars spoiled for me a day before Star Wars was out. Like the next day it was out, and I was like, wow. But it wasn't a big deal because I mean, in all honesty, Han dying was kind of predictable, considering what all I had heard about his character before the film. He was a good, because I mean, Harrison Ford didn't even want to come back.
Oh yeah.
And he was asking for a huge lump sum of cash. And
because he's not really interested in, like Star Wars.
He's not interested in it like he was decades ago. He doesn't care about it anymore. And I can understand why. I mean, look at his resume as an actor. He's done bigger roles than that are better.
Yeah.
He's a better... I mean, heck, I actually would prefer his portrayal as Indiana Jones than I do Han Solo.
Yeah, speaking of Han Solo, Miles Teller was auditioning for Han Solo as a young Han Solo, and he said he did not watch any of the Star Wars movies, the old ones, I think, or whatever. He only saw them weeks before he was in a position. And people are just like going insane over this, as in like you have to see the movies in order to be a good actor.
I personally don't care who gets that Han Solo prequel, because I mean, I feel like I would rather have like an Obi-Wan prequel or something, but in my opinion.
I think, because I know Star Wars fans are different from the comic fans, I think I do remember reading that Jesse Eisenberg has never read a comic book in his life or seen any of the superhero movies because he's just not into superhero movies. And he only saw and read Superman when he was considered for the role.
I wonder how many, I wonder if he's read comics now. He has to.
Oh, he has. He has.
Yeah, I know, because Snyder makes it probably a requirement for his actors.
I mean, not like that. I mean, it's because, these actors who aren't interested in these type of movies, like Christian Bale, he doesn't have any interest in them. When he was being, considered for the role of Batman, he got up his ass and went to buy Batman comics and started reading them.
True, I mean, there's been numerous pictures of Henry Cavill. There's been a lot of pictures of Henry Cavill holding comics at a comic book shop, and I don't think he's just doing that for the hell of it. I think he is reading them.
Because he did read Superman comics before being in the Venom movie.
He had to have, because
he read 4 specific comics: Red Sun, Death of Superman, and I'm not sure which are the other 2 comics.
I feel like he had to have read Earth 1. He had to have.
I'm not sure.
Because one of the scenes in Earth 1 is like right out of the comic. Because I mean, you know that scene where it's like near the end of Man of Steel, and he's like getting his tie on and his glasses. There's a scene similar to that in Earth 1. That book was just Earth 1 in movie form. And, I think that is a definitive Superman book. That's one of the books I would classify as the definitive Superman. If he were to exist in our world, at least. Not too positive about Grant Morrison's Earth 1 Wonder Woman, and I hope to God they don't use that for anything pertaining to Gal Gadot. That looks so shitty.
I heard it. I did hear about it, and when I heard, I was not just into it. Like, remind me again, because I kind of forgot.
Well, all I know is he was going to do something really weird by making the invisible jet look like a vagina.
Fuck.
Or I don't know if he was sarcastic or not, but if you look at Grant Morrison's track record as a writer, he has done some pretty weird shit. So
he's done good work, but weird shit. Yeah.
Yeah, his stuff is good. I'm not lying. He's a great writer. It's just, his stuff is technically weird. I mean, so with that said, I think he's serious. Grant Morrison is like the modern day Alan Moore, except While Moore is a good writer, most of his works are kind of are shit. Like, the only good works Moore has is Watchmen and V for Vendetta. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen kind of sucked ass. Sorry, Alan Moore, but I don't...
You mean the comic or the movie?
The comic and the movie kind of sucked for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I mean, it literally is the last movie Sean Connery did, and then he retired.
Yeah.
I don't think that necessarily is what pushed him into it, but I wouldn't doubt it has something to do with it. Because, I mean, Sean Connery is only known for a good movie after good movie.
Yeah, such as the James Bond.
Yeah, he's the definitive Bond, if you ask me. But that's him and Daniel Craig. Hashtag BVS premiere by Norma Snutsack says BVS premiere.
Enormous Nutsack?
Yeah, that's Norma Snutsack. If that is really their name.
Yeah, that's why, Enormous Nutsack.
And they said, BVS premiere. My only regret is not meeting Gal Gadot. Mark my words. Wonder Woman is the movie to watch next year. That's very good. That is very good to hear. Because I am excited for that movie. From what I did see. Huh?
Oh, I was just gonna say that the movie I'm looking forward to next year. Well, I am looking forward to Wonder Woman, obviously. The most, it's Justice League. Sorry.
Overall, though, in the DCU, I'm most looking forward to the Flash because I want to see how they make it work with the TV show. And like, plus, out of all the DCU actors, I think the one that gets a lot of extremist hate, and they haven't even seen him at all, is Ezra Miller's Flash.
I know. Dude, like,
he's gonna. I mean, that's why I'm interested. I want to see what the haters will do when we get a trailer with him. Well, he's gonna be in the movie. He's gonna be in Dawn of Justice, and I heard some rumors about how his little cameo works, because it was confirmed he was cameo, and I kind of believe it.
Yeah.
But then it's not gonna be enough to shut the haters up. They're actually gonna get more crazy and out of line. Yeah, it's gonna give them more fuel than they already have, and they have plenty.
Alright. Here, what I think is Miller's cameo in BVS, they did say that he was gonna be, the Nightmare scene, Nightmare Batman scene.
Yeah, well...
He was gonna probably appear there, but I think he could also appear... Have you seen the first trailer, right, for BVS?
Yeah.
When, like, they're outside of LexCorp motorcycle, and then they're like inside the laboratory where it's all destroyed, where I think that's when Doomsday's gonna escape, okay? So what I'm thinking is that in that scene where the bullets are, you see a pair of legs walking right there.
Actually, that was confirmed to be legs on the motorcycle and everything.
Because I do think that that's when Doomsday escaped in the lab.
Well, I'm not taking that rumor seriously because the rumor I heard goes differently than the whole Nightmare thing. I'm not going to say what the rumor is because I'm afraid that it might be true, and I don't want to get accused of spoiling a movie.
Yeah, okay, so don't say anything.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just going to say the rumor, I think it kind of makes sense, but again,
okay.
I'm going to just say that it's kind of in line with the Nightmare thing. That's all I'll say.
Ezra Miller, his acting range. 2 movies that I've seen him in, we need to talk about Kevin. And the purpose of being a wallflower.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his movies, so when I see the Flash movie, I'm gonna be very open-minded about it.
Dude, I've seen both movies. Purpose of Being a Wallflower is a good movie, dude. You should see it if you want.
I wanted to see it, and then I guess that... You know who I really want to figure out what's going on with him? Is Dan Amboyer.
Dude, I think he's Green Lantern.
I also heard a new rumor about that says he could be. I'm not gonna say it, but it does have an Easter egg from the comics. I will say that much.
Oh, you mean when you said follow your limelight?
No. It's something that's said in the Batman v Superman. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's something from the comics pertaining to Hal Jordan. I want to say it so bad, but I know I can't. And plus...
Don't say it, man. I don't want to hear it, and I'm sure...
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. That's the other reason why.
Yeah.
But It sounds like a very likely way of doing it, considering that it was said that Amboyer was a drone pilot, or just a pilot. So, I mean, he is so, I love it though, he is so teasing fans. And then I want to know, who is Scoot McNairy playing?
He was confirmed to be a new character made for the movie.
I hate to say it, but I think whenever DC or WB says something like that, they're full of shit. Because remember what they did with Arkham Knight? He was supposedly a new character.
Oh my god, I did, and I supported them. I told everyone, no, it's not God, it's going to be a new villain. Rocksteady said it's going to be a brand new character made for the game. And I have not played the game, but I did hear that he is Jason Todd. And I was like, fuck.
Dude, I felt like such an ass after, because I told everyone, you're going to look like a total ass when you found out it's a new character. Well, I guess who ended up looking like the ass, obvious.
Us.
Yeah, I shouldn't have defended it.
It's just that because Rocksteady said that, and I said, okay, the own company said that.
Yeah, I believed them.
Yeah.
But then when but if you actually pay attention to the trailers and shit like that, it kind of makes sense that it was Jason Todd the whole time. I don't know how. I mean, I had a feeling it was, but at the same time, I fought that theory because, I mean, if the studio says it's a new character, hey, I'm gonna believe them, because why would they say that out of nowhere?
Yeah.
But it's an interesting way to add to Jason Todd's story. I mean, from Robin to Arkham Knight to Red Hood, it's kind of an interesting little transition.
Do you think that, we were talking about Daredevil earlier, do you think that Daredevil and that Punisher character could fit in the MCU, the movies, with the other characters?
I wonder if they're gonna use the chick who played, Carrie Ferris in Man of Steel as Carol Ferris.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
She doesn't seem like a big enough actor to hold that title, so they...
So does Dan Amboyer, if he is Green Lantern. He's not really a known actor.
I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but again, like I said, I'm not judging.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything right now.
Yeah, the spoilers are... I kinda had a little bit of a fanboy moment about it, because man, it just shows that Snyder reads his fucking comics. He is a fucking fanboy like you or I.
Did he mention because Dan Boyer will appear in BDS, right?
Yeah, he does appear.
Okay, is he gonna say that his dad died and that he's not gonna take up?
Well, as far as I can tell in this, it looks like he's just a pilot that... I'm assuming that during the heat of the battle in BVS that he is a pilot that's controlling...
Oh!
No, I'm saying my theory on what his cameo is. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just assuming...
You're assuming from the spoiler.
No, not from the... No, I'm just assuming that what people have been generally saying is based on what his casting role on IMDb is, that he's just gonna fly in and do something. Is all I'm saying. That's not me going off the spoiler. I'm just going off of what a lot of people have speculated.
Yeah.
That's the only way you could really do a Hal Jordan cameo, I think, because he's a pilot. There's nothing else you can do with him. This isn't like The Flash where they showed Hot Girl in the crowd.
Oh yeah, I remember the season finale.
Yeah, they're gonna try to make these cameos stand out in these movies, or as much as they can to make it clear that this is blankety blank.
One cameo I do know that it is gonna make the most impact is gonna be Aquaman.
Yeah, because it seems like there's a lot that's going on with his cameo and the Flashes. Like they're like the most heavily publicized cameos out of all the others. I mean, but
I think Aquaman is the most publicized out of them all. And the reason is because we've already seen how Aquaman is going to look like in the DC Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
And basically, Jason Momoa, he's already right for the part. I mean, he is already, he already looks the part, I guess. You know, like, he doesn't really need to work out a lot. because he's already like muscular and blah 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 blah. And that's why they showed him in the costume at that time, because he was kind of almost prepped for the role, I guess, for Aquaman. But Miller is going to be Flash, and Flash is not really that much of a muscular buff character. He's more lean than anything else, because his game is speed. It's not strength or like a flying or blah blah. It's speed. I'm pretty sure that. I'm trying to make a joke here about the whole MCU Quicksilver thing. I just can't come up with one. But anyways, he's speed. It doesn't really need to work out. That's what I'm saying. That much, at least. Simi, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So John, he messaged me earlier. I didn't say anything about this, but he said he's kind of sick.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a good movie, though.
Yeah.
I just am very interested in how, well, but then again, I can understand why they're not going to do anything really special for Green Lantern, because his movie's not till 2020. And same for Shazam. I heard he's not cameoing at all in this, which makes sense, because that's not coming in until like 2019. Those are like the furthest away. There's no point in doing anything for them right now.
No, I think they might. I think Shazam. Fully that's in my list.
Honestly, I don't see the point of a Shazam movie. He seems like more of a solo. I mean, a supporting character. I don't know why I said solo.
Well, anyway, in the New 52, he is more in with the League, I guess. Even in the movies, he is in the Atlantis and all that. I'm pretty. Isn't he in the Jail vs. Teen Titans movie? I'm not sure about the rough. I have to look at him right now. Because I think that if Shazam does appear in the CCU as a cameo, I think that it will be Billy Batts cameoing in Justice League Part 1. Because I assume that by... Because they're going to start filming in April.
Yeah.
And
on the 11th, almost pretty much right after BBS, they're just going to get a little grace period where they can relax and they have to hit the pavement again.
Yeah, so I just looked up. It's just going to be Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, and Nightwing in the Jail vs. Teen Titans movie. Because BBS, they started filming in May of 2014, and they finished filming in December 2014. So I'm assuming that they're going to finish filming Justice League this year, by the end of the year.
Yeah, they're going to get it done in time for the movie to be out.
And I do think that Billy Batson is going to be announced next year.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't see why they announced Dwayne Johnson then. I mean, why not announce him like a bit closer to 2019?
At least by the end of the year, or next year.
I mean, maybe by the end of this year, or like done by the end of this year or next year.
I think he was announced in December 2014, right?
Yeah, he was announced way too early, but I think they actually did push back Shazam's release date. Again, I haven't been following this movie because honestly, this is the one DC film that I'm not excited for at all. I don't have any feelings about it. It's a film that I don't think is necessary because, as I said before, Shazam, he's usually just a supporting character. He doesn't have any other value aside from that.
Yeah. I will admit that Shazam, the movie, is among one of my most favorite films of the DC universe. In terms of solo movies, at least. But my number one and most anticipated film in the DCU of solo movies is The Flash, obviously. I want to see The Flash because I know that I like Superman, and of course I do like Batman, but I like Superman more. Blah, blah. I really am more interested in seeing a solo Flash movie than Man of Steel 2. Because I've already seen Man of Steel, the solo Superman movie, and we have yet to see a Flash movie. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to have in store for him.
Well, I saw a review on Reddit earlier. It's taken down now. But someone did...
Yes?
Yeah, it was a review. It was not spoiler, but they did... Because, I mean, obviously one of the main complaints for MOS was the amount of destruction, and people were worried that it would be over the top in BVS 2. He said that... So they just said that, I guess Snyder really took the criticism for MOS and actually incorporated it into the...
I don't think so, because... Alright, look, I'm going to explain. In Man of Steel, it was basically Superman's first day, right?
Yeah, I don't know why people make a big deal over it. It's just destruction. It's an everyday thing.
And it was a large-scale invasion of an alien race. Superpowered. Sure, it was like 7, 9 aliens, I guess, but the most we see were the 3 main ones, Dodge, Fedora, and Dynamic.
Yeah.
They do have Superman powers, obviously.
They're more skilled and trained, though, than Kal-El. They were trained to be warriors since birth. Kal-El wasn't.
Was just born to be born. Anyway, obviously, if they were to destroy cities, it wouldn't be expected because, they're fucking invincible aliens. So of course they're going to be able to cause destruction, especially with the world engine. I think it's Black Zero, I think. Superman, he wasn't experienced at all, and Snyder had it planned the whole time that Bruce Wayne was going to be in this universe. Obviously, it's going to be a shared universe. But in the end of Man of Steel, they wanted to make a post-credit scene, I think, that it was going to have the Wayne Mansion, and there was going to be like a limo driving up to the mansion, delivering a package to Bruce Wayne. And in that package, we're going to be showing kryptonite. So obviously they were planning this film BVS since the beginning.
Yeah, this was an idea the whole idea of a Batman versus Superman movie has been around for decades.
Yeah, and since it takes place like 2 years after Man of Steel, right?
I heard, well, yeah, it is too, I believe, because it flipped like it said too.
Yeah, and within those 2 years, I think that Superman would be more experienced in his ways, his powers.
Yeah, he would obviously have more understanding of his powers, but these are superpowered beings. Do you actually expect them to keep a city intact? Do you think that they'll actually go to another place to fight where it's less populated? Come on. Dumbest
even in Superman 2, they destroyed the fucking city.
It happens in comic books overall. I don't
even
Marvel or DC, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, even in Superman 2, they destroyed the city, like I said. Obviously not the scale of Metropolis and Man of Steel, but they did destroy some parts of the city.
Look how much of Metropolis has gotten destroyed in the Superman comics over the past 75 years. I mean, imagine how the economy for that city goes. They have to repair that almost every friggin' day. I feel sorry for their mayor, like, really.
Anyway, getting back to the topic of the whole Superman thing, they have Superman answering for his destruction in Man of Steel, in Batman v Superman. Going to court to face, like, oh shit, I'm sorry I did this, it wasn't really my intention, Yeah. That was the whole intention too.
I saw this meme on the well, not a meme, but it was like a video. It was kind of fucked up. It was a video of, like, how Superman's flying down and he's going to the courthouse or Supreme Court, I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, he and it's like when you show up to pay child support. And it had this rap song, I can't remember what it was, but I honestly laughed my ass off because he looks like he's in so much trouble and he looks so sad in that scene. good feeling that... Have you heard the soundtrack yet?
Only a few songs, and not all of them.
Have you heard Beautiful Lie?
Nope.
You should listen to it, because I have a good feeling that that's going to play when that scene happens. Like, when he walks down that hallway, man, I swear, that's when that plays. It's not in the beginning of the film, or it's not in another part of the film, because I don't think that court scene happens in the beginning of the movie, because looking at things closely, it looks like it might happen in the middle.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the world is 50-50 on him by the end of Man of Steel, so there's no way that the whole world or all of America would want him on trial. I mean, there's a whole memorial statue dedicated to him saving Metropolis, so, I mean, that's why I'm saying that's why I'm thinking that there's probably something that happens that makes that necessary in the movie. It might not even have anything to do with MOS. As far as I know. Again, there's a lot of speculation. By the way, is Swanwick still in the movie? Like, that general guy?
I think he is.
Because, like, I know there are a lot of characters coming back, obviously, from Man of Steel, but how many exactly? That's like the actor who plays him. He's Harry Lynn.
Yeah, remember when everyone was saying that he was going to be Martian Manhunter?
That was the dumbest theory I've ever freaking heard.
Just because he's black?
I'm not sure how that would matter, because plus, technically in the comics, Martian Manhunter's disguise was a white detective. Well, originally. If you've read some of his older comics and like Justice League, The New Frontier or whatever, yeah, he's typically not, I don't know why they have to put race on it when it comes to that. I mean, plus he doesn't have, he's not a black guy anyways, he's a green guy.
Green alien.
Yeah, he's literally a stereotype alien. He's green and he's literally typically drawn to look like a stereotype.
He's not a short green alien.
Well, he's tall, that exception. But Martians can change their form, so he could shrink himself down in size if he wanted. I wonder if... My question for was, when are they going to use Martian Manhunter in the DCEU?
I have no idea. I don't think they'll use him because, I mean, they did select Cyborg over Martian Manhunter for Justice League, because they can't really have physical-powered aliens running around.
They'll probably do like, in the New 52, Manhunter came later. So, he's gonna come, it's just, he's gonna come after Justice League Part 1 Part 1 or 2, or whatever. Man, I hate to say it, but I could not do Affleck or Cavill or Snyder's job. Because they're just going back to back, pretty much. I mean, they're only gonna get like a few days to relax, and then they have to freaking get revved up for Justice League. I could never do that. I would quit. I wouldn't survive long as an actor. I would need rest. I would need a break.
Yeah, but I guess in the end, it's fun, I guess. I'm not sure. I haven't acted in Hollywood. What was I going to talk about? Yes. The movies for DC, the solo movies, have you noticed that they're changing? Because I know they put out...
What is that noise, by the way?
You can hear that?
Yeah.
I think it's the fan. Sorry. I think.
Yeah, I can hear a lot of what you said. Hopefully you can edit that out, but hopefully you edit this part out too. Anyways, what are you saying?
Yeah, the DC timeline for movies. They did release the official timeline, right, I guess? But I think it could be changing, because
like
they did...
the canon timeline?
Yeah, the DC movies.
Or like the actual release timeline, like the studio release.
Yeah, because they said that, we're going to make these movies only. But I don't think it's going to be just like that, because Suicide Squad 2 is rumored.
Well, remember, they already did change the Flash, so this this whole roster of movies they've got is tentative. It's not written in stone, meaning they can put these films at any time. For all heck, if they wanted, for the hell of it, they could cancel Cyborg and replace it with another movie if they really needed to.
Well, saying because Suicide Squad 2 was never in the release date.
But it's heavily being teased.
Yeah, it is. So it could be changing. I mean, we could see a Martian Manhunter movie, possibly, in the future. I'm not sure when, but it could be possible, I'm saying.
I just know that a Suicide Squad sequel would probably come maybe 2017, 2018.
Yeah. And we're already an hour and a half in, I think.
Yeah. Are we still on the wait for anime guy? Very anime?
Save anime or bury anime.
So, yeah.
I'm not...
Yeah, I can't remember his Skype name.
Save anime, just save anime.
Yeah,
Right?
for some reason I'm thinking of something else, probably.
Okay. But anyway, I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to come back or anything, and if he does, he's going to be like, oh, will it end it? I'm not sure. Because now John is kind of sick, he told me. And the save anime, I'm not sure if he is back in the store or whatever.
He's probably not back, I think. Well, I'm not gonna...
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I don't...
So, I guess, because I did want to plan this for an hour and a half.
Just can't wait for the BVS spoiler cast. I'm probably gonna see BVS on Saturday, so your best bet for me, or for anyone else who's seen it by that point, probably see it, get the...
Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. I mean, I'm not trying to accommodate around me, but I want to do this podcast, so, and I think...
Yeah, I know. And I did tell everyone that we would have a special guest for this one. Spoiler
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm sure the guest will have probably seen it by Friday, or by Thursday, Saturday. Friday or Saturday.
I think the special guest would probably see it by Friday at least, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he'll definitely have seen it by Friday or Saturday. Maybe Thursday, but I don't know. You might want to talk to him about that so we can coordinate a little better.
So I will see it Thursday night, actually.
I know, I'm probably going to see it on Saturday. I'm not going to see it Friday like I did Star Wars. It's kind of bad because it was so hectic. Yeah, so we were going to have someone else for the podcast planned, but some changes were made. But we're still going to have a special guest on. No matter. The guest was hard to contact, so we're just going with the guest who's actually pretty cool, too. I really respect this guy. I'm not going to say...
Yeah. No, it's not saying the names right now.
No.
I want to be surprised.
Yeah, I'm ready for this guest, though. I think it's going to be interesting. This would be our first time, like, having guest star from another channel. That's really big. Yeah. And hopefully they do get back to me. And if not, it's okay. I mean, at least I am glad that the person that I want matters. No, I'm not getting that. I'm just saying communication is key. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I was really happy that they communicated. It's good to work things out. Yeah. It's better than not communicating, because then it makes a mess for everyone. Everyone has a hard time getting content out. That's just common sense to run a YouTube channel. And I'm really excited for this BVS for the podcast. I'm excited for this one, and I don't know if we've talked about, like, if we're even going to consider it, but, like, a Star Wars Rogue One cast, you know, that's way down range. Dude, we're going to make a spoiler podcast for every major movie that's going to... I know, I'm just saying that the Rogue One cast is so down range. Yeah, it's going to be in December. Yeah, I mean, that's the one I'm most excited for. I don't really know about the Civil War one because, well, I don't know. I just feel like I'll be more focused on X-Men than I would be that. Civil War. Yeah. I don't know, my first Marvel movie was the Fox X-Men, so I mean, I have a little bit more of a softer spot, personal bias for what Fox does over Disney/Marvel Studios. Yeah, because we will have a spoiler podcast for X-Men, Civil War, Suicide Squad, and
I think Gambit's going to come out next year. That's been scrapped. I heard.
By the way, are we going to try to get the original guest on the Suicide Squad cast, maybe?
I don't think the original guest that I intended for would be interested.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't think he was really interested in this cast, but, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people. He said that it's a standing ovation after a gut-wrenching, emotional cliffhanger. Best superhero action ever. Best SH film in at least 5 years. Oh my god.
You know what? I would expect that movie to end in a cliffhanger.
I would too, because look at what comes after it, technically. Like, in terms of, bigger films. Yeah, in terms of bigger films, including Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman, I mean, of course it would end at a cliffhanger, even I could predict.
So, what movie came out 5 years ago that was the best of all time?
I don't know.
Was it Avengers?
That's film in at least 5 years, so I mean, that's pretty much any film, comic book movie that came out in the last 5 years, dude.
So 2011 to right now.
Pretty much.
So it would be either Dark Knight Rises or Avengers 1.
I really don't know if Dark Knight Rises is even considered a good movie, because I don't like it.
I did not like it either.
Then again, the studio forced Nolan to make that movie. He didn't even want to make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad movie, but I just did not find it as good as the other two. It's not a terrible movie. I'm just saying it's not as entertaining.
It's not as good as it should have been because Nolan didn't have his full heart into it.
Heart and soul, passion. Yeah. Because originally Heath Ledger was going to be in it. He was going to be in
Nolan didn't want to do anymore because he felt it would have been disrespectful to Ledger, but I personally think that you're not going to win that fight with studios. They're going to make you do it because they don't care about a celebrity dying. People die every day. So they're just going to milk the shit out of it. And when they found a celebrity like Ledger whose Joker is going to always be iconic, they're going to milk the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really care as much as... I mean, I know it's fucked up to say that, but they don't care about you.
Well, I mean, everyone knows that. I mean, even I know that they don't really give a shit.
Yeah, they're not seeing you... They don't see you as a person. See, when they talk about the audience, they don't see you as people. They see... All they see is a bunch of dollar signs sitting in a chair.
Yeah, I know.
They don't care.
Pretty sad.
I know, it's fucked up. I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't like The Dark Knight Rises, because that was what it was. It was a clear showcase of what is wrong with Hollywood. I mean, you can't change the world, but, I mean, doesn't mean I'm not going to say I like it, because I don't. I'm going to voice dislike.
Yeah.
Son of Krypton versus the Bat of Gotham. I thought it was Batman v Superman Electric Boogaloo. I love the DC subreddit, the DCCU subreddit. It's amazing. It's so funny. It's a great place to find scoops.
Oh, yeah?
Have you gone to it?
I've gone to /DC Comics before, but not DCCU.
Yeah, DC_Cinematic. It's good. I would be careful though, because the spoilers are big there. Like, I'm
not really that much into Reddit that much as I used to be back in 2014.
I just got into it, dude. Only for
Reddit? Dude, Reddit back in the day was fucking awesome.
It's better than...
Then all of a sudden, Helen fucking Show, I guess, what her name is. She fucking ruined it right now.
It's not cancer like 4chan is.
No, I mean, it's not, but, I mean, there used to be more subreddits in Reddit that were very interesting, but it's not as interesting as it was back then.
I don't know,
I'm not trying to be one of those, back in my day, everything was better. I'm just saying how it is. Because back then, there was a lot of fucking shit going on.
I don't know, I mean, and I'm only using Reddit to keep up with,
and then I think it was last year in November, I discovered a website just like Reddit, but better. It's not as much people on the site as Reddit, obviously, but it reminds me of the old Reddit, and there's a lot of it's vote.com, I think. You know, like vote, but instead of the B, it's a V. V as in Verizon. Vote. Vote.co.
Yeah, I've been hanging out. I'm gonna check out the Marvel forum now on Reddit.
So, yeah, we're gonna cut a little off topic talking about special guest stars and potential ones and a bunch of other crap. And we're way past it, and I guess it's over now, and I apologize. But we did have some good discussions with Save Anime as well. I really enjoyed it. And I get to say for our goodbyes.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.